It's Thursday, November 4th, 2021. Just wanted to do a quick video today. A few things I wanted to talk about. I want to start with the weekly jobless claims. Better than expected. We've got some good news today. It says here, another sign of healing for employment. We lost only 269,000 jobs last week to unemployment claims. Now, if we have 4 weeks of 269,000 jobless claims, that's almost 1,000,001 in jobless claims per month. And this is the good news. I guess if everything is going well, I guess it is time to raise interest rates, ladies and gentlemen. So again, they keep telling us about the good news. The economy is healthy. I was watching some of these business channels yesterday, and analysts on there coming on saying how strong the economy is. And I just cannot believe when I hear people out there touting that this is a strong economy. We look at the biggest jobless claim states: Kentucky number 1, California number 2, Minnesota number 3, Illinois number 4. They led the way with jobless claims. Missouri and Florida saw the biggest drop in jobless claims, so good for them. But again, that's only 1,000,001 in jobless claims a month if we keep at the 269,000 jobless claims per week. So I guess that's good news. It's good news to these analysts and economists on the television. The economy is roaring back. It's booming. And it must be. Airbnb profits surged 280% in third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think about that. I mean, I find it so hard to believe when I see numbers like this, that people now are traveling, they're spending money on Airbnbs, and everything is back to normal. Is it back to normal, ladies and gentlemen, or am I just misreading things here? But every time I look at jobless claims and I look at how many people are quitting their jobs, how many people in these large cities who are not going back to work, trash piling up in New York, EMS problems all over the country. And we just hear from business all over America that they just can't get people to come back to work. But yet Airbnb profits surged 280% in the third quarter. There's more continued good news today. Planet Fitness CEO says gym memberships have almost reached its pre-crisis peak. That's phenomenal, but that's good. I mean, that really is good news that people are getting back to the gym. They're taking care of themselves. They're working out. I think that that's good news, and hopefully that keeps up. But I can tell you from my experience at my gym in my area, they say that they're down 100 people per day. Maybe that's just my area. Maybe in your area it's booming. Comment down below if you're a member of a gym. What does it look like at your gym? Are memberships up? Is it about the same, or are they down? I can tell you in my gym that it does not look like it looked like it 2 years ago. Peloton shares fall 25% as company posts wider than expected loss and slashes full year outlook. People getting out of the house, getting back out there. I think that that's good news. People not spending as much time in their homes. Here's an article today in The Hedge, and this isn't good news. U.S. worker productivity plunges most in 40 years, but jobless claims back to normal. 10 million people are missing from the labor force compared to the pre-crisis. 10 million people have not returned. Where are they? Where are all these people who are not working? What are they doing? How are they paying the bills? Now, yes, there was a lot of stimulus. There was a lot of benefits, a lot of unemployment, a lot of money that people have acquired over the last year and a half, and they're still sitting on some of that money. And maybe they're sitting on that money and not going back to work, refusing to go back to work right now. Maybe when the money runs out, they're going to be forced to go to one of these jobs, one of these service sector jobs. Less people on the government dole. But the good news was countered by a collapse in the U.S. productivity. The 5% plunge is the greatest quarterly drop in 40 years. What does this mean? I mean, 1 minute you look at Airbnb up 280%, and then you look at U.S. productivity just absolutely slammed here. How are people paying their bills? Something just doesn't add up here. People, I think, right now, if they're working to survive. They're not working to get ahead. They're working just to survive. This is just a very difficult economy to read, because 1 minute I'm turning on the television and everything's great, and 269,000 jobless claims is great news, but then productivity is plunging at an alarming rate. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. It just does not add up, does it? U.S. toy maker warns shortages could rapidly transform into gluts. What happens when we have too many products here in America and we don't have consumers who can afford to buy products? That's my concern. We're going to have so much inventory here and so few people able to buy it. This is when we're going to see things, I believe, change. This is when you can see deflation in America. Ryan Gunnigal, CEO of Kids 2, an Atlanta-based toy company, said a risk to his businesses this year is over ordering toys for the holiday season, resulting in high inventories once the supply chain eases. Companies are ordering more products just in case inventories. They're doing it just in case. They'd rather be safe than sorry. What if companies get stuck with massive inventory and we see this consumer pullback? Look, if people are not working, if people are having wages cut, hours cut, they're just not going to be able to shop like they once did. I was at a pawn shop today, and I was talking to a gentleman there who's a friend of mine, and he was telling me he's beginning to see business pick up. And over the last year, he said there was no business. People were rich on stimmies, and people weren't coming in to sell things. People weren't coming in to pawn things. And he says that's beginning to change right now. So they're beginning to see the money run out. And businesses are going to have a problem here if they have so much inventory at one point and not enough consumers to buy it. So we'll see how it plays out. Again, very interesting times in regards to this economy. Uber tanks after Lyft on disappointing earnings outlook. Now, I read a little bit of this article, and I think about the past year, and I look at what people are doing for work. And look, anybody out there taking on a side hustle, God bless you. Anybody working, being productive, God bless you. But I'll tell you, we are living in a time now where we have so many people working these type of service sector jobs, Lyft and Uber, delivering food and delivering people. Adjusted earnings will be $25 to $75 million in the period that ends in December, well below analysts' expectations of $98.1 million. The company reported a net loss of $2.4 billion for the quarter, largely attributed to a drop in value of investment holdings, particularly in Didi. Again, when I look back and I go, look at how many people in this country are just trying to survive, and they're having to drive their cars, to drive people around, to deliver people, to deliver food. And I just think, how in the world are these people going to continue to survive with the amount of inflation that we're seeing here in America? And again, God bless anybody out there working and hustling. I commend you. But is this where it's all heading? That we're literally going to be servants, that everybody's going to work some type of service sector job. They're going to be driving people around. They're going to be delivering people food. And when I saw this over the past year, people running into restaurants and picking up bags of food to deliver to other people, I just said, man, is this the American dream? I feel so sorry for people like this, because where do you go up from there? If you're working at a Home Depot or Costco or a Lowe's or a Walmart, I mean, where's the opportunity going to be? If you're working for Lyft or Uber, where's the opportunity going to be? Where do you step up to? Where do you go? And if they can replace you with technology or a robot, you're done. You're done. So, we see this opportunity inequality just exploding in America, and it's really, really sad to see. And How many people are working for Lyft and Uber, driving their own cars, paying those car payments, paying for that insurance, the depreciation of those automobiles? How many of those people have college degrees? And this is what they have to do now to pay the bills to survive. It's just, I don't like what I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen. The analysts with the $2,000 suit on television might tell you the economy's strong and that everything's roaring back and there's tons of opportunity out there. But I live in the real world, and it's really sad with what I'm seeing. Get ready for food rationing. American consumers, ladies and gentlemen, many have no idea what is happening right before their very eyes. They're so unprepared. We have got to have realistic expectations to what is coming. And I know most people don't want to live in the real world. They want to continue to live in their bubbles. And it's these same people whose standard of living continues to plunge. The same people who are drowning in debt, the same people who are not going to have any opportunity, the same people who have massive college tuition debt, credit card debt, the same people who tell you and I not to be paranoid, not to worry, everything's fine, you're overreacting. The same people who have absolutely nothing, the same people who are forced to drive a Lyft or Uber just to get by are telling us there's nothing to worry about. When this crisis hits, it doesn't matter where you live, what state you live in, nobody is going to be spared. Everyone is going to feel it, ladies and gentlemen. But the people at the very, very bottom are going to feel it the most. No matter how bad it gets, no one wants to admit it. Just like many of you, when you go out, if you're at a mall, if you're at a store, a restaurant, you're just out walking around somewhere, you just notice that people are oblivious to the reality that is taking place. There is a wealth transfer, no doubt, taking place right now, and people are oblivious to it. And some people may see what's happening, but they just cannot admit what is happening. And people just cannot believe that an economic disaster is occurring right before their very eyes. They believe this disaster, I think, in some ways is a success. No one believes the crisis is right in front of them. They think that this is a success. They think only losing 269,000 jobs last week is a success. We, no doubt, live in a very, very crazy time in history. And as I've said many, many times, there has never been a time in history where it is more important for you and for me to be prepared mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. People out there may think that this is a success, that the economy is a success right now. I think it is an utter disaster. The people who think it's a success, they're the same people that believe in the system. They believe the system is safe. They believe the system will take care of them. The system will feed them. The system will continue to give them money. These people are going to be taken by surprise when the system is not there to take care of them. And I think some people are beginning to realize that right now. They haven't gotten a stimulus check in a while. Many of them, their unemployment has expired. Many of them forced to go back to a low-paying job. And many of them drowning in debt, and there is no help on the way. The only thing that helps this is opportunity, jobs, well-paying jobs, manufacturing jobs. And if we don't see real jobs here in America, we are not going to see opportunity. We're going to continue to see what we're seeing, a plunging economy. We're plunging into a depression, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to leave it there this evening. I'll leave you with this. A lot of people make a lot of videos, and they can tell you what's happening. But I'm going to tell you this. People say, what can I do? What can I do? Continue to educate yourself with what's going on. Continue to absorb knowledge. Continue to put some food away, some water away, security away. Continue to get a mental mindset for what's coming. Continue to surround yourself with good people who are awake. You know, I find it difficult now to even associate with people who are asleep. I just have nothing in common, nothing to talk to them about. I've completely pretty much disconnected myself from people who are in comas. anyone in the matrix, I just don't associate with anymore. It's a waste of time. And as I've said many times, time is not on your side. It's not on my side. Time is running out. And these people who think that this economy is a success, who think that everything is going to be okay, who think that the Fed's going to save them, the system's going to save them, these people are going to learn a very, very tragic lesson, ladies and gentlemen. No one is going to be spared from what's coming, and especially the people who have not prepared. They are going to be absolute economic casualties to what's to come. And it's amazing how nobody's talking about the evictions that are taking place now. What's happening? Where are these people going? Nobody's talking about the over 1 million homes in forbearance. Guys, we are seeing numbers that rival the Great Depression right now. Nobody wants to talk about it. When you watch the television, watch these business channels, nobody ever tells you what's really happening. Again, it's just continue to buy the dip, buy real estate, run up your credit card, buy stocks. Nothing bad's going to happen. Jump in. I don't know about you, but when I continue to watch these melt-ups today, the markets were pretty flat, but they should have absolutely come down. 269,000 first-time jobless claims. That's not a healthy number, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1.1 million people in a month filing jobless claims. We are no doubt in the twilight zone. But again, you can always do something. Get a skill. Get a trade. Take this time and do everything you can to put the odds in your favor. But right now, you can go learn how to do something. You can get a skill. You can get a trade. You can go get 10 cans of food at the store tonight. You can go buy a case of water at the store tonight. There's always something you can be doing. And how about this? How about cutting some things out of your lives? How about cutting toxic people out of your lives? How about cutting the $8 lattes out of your lives? How about cutting things out of your lives that aren't really contributing, and taking that money and putting into something that will contribute to your life? Extra food, extra water, extra silver, extra gold, extra cash. Everybody complains they don't have anything, but there are jobs out there. Maybe not the job you want. Maybe it's not the wage you want. But if you're sitting at home making no money, when you could go out and make $10 or $15 an hour, that $10 or $15 an hour is going to add up a lot more at the end of the week than sitting on a couch. So take advantage of what opportunity is out there and do something, and go and buy assets that you're going to need to get through this collapse. I cannot stress that enough. People always complain that, oh, there's no answer, JB. You never give us an answer. I gave you 5, 6, 7 answers right there. And of course, always walk close to God. If you're walking close to God, He's going to look out for you. He's going to guide you. That doesn't mean He's going to appear out of the clouds and save you before all this happens. He gave you free will. He gave you a brain, and He's telling you to get off the couch. He's telling you to go get a side hustle. He's telling you to go get a skill or a trade. And He's telling you to wake up. Because we have very severe economic times coming to America. They've already begun. Take a look around. These people who are oblivious to the collapse right now, I don't know what they're smoking. But if you do not see clearly with your own 2 eyes what's happening, you are blind, and you need to open your eyes. I'm going to leave it there. God bless all of you. I don't want to go on any more of a rant than I already have. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But these are very, very strange times, especially when I see Airbnb up 280%, and I see 100 cargo ships off the port here, and I see $5 a gallon gas. Very, very questionable. Very, very questionable. But again, who do you believe? What do you believe? Do you believe everything on the television? Do you believe all these numbers that they give us, that everything's doing so great? But again, remember how much of this has been corporate buybacks on the stock market, all this free, easy money, all this manipulation, the 0% interest rates. I mean, it's really propped up a lot of things, but things can stop on a dime. Don't forget that. And when they do, people are going to be absolutely in shock with how fast things can go down, how fast things can evaporate, how fast what money they have, what wealth they have can be absolutely evaporated. And we know that 80% of this country is living paycheck to paycheck. So when I see certain numbers, I really have to question them. When you have a country that its GDP, 70% of its GDP is based on consumption, and you have 80% of this country living paycheck to paycheck, and yet we hear about the real estate boom, the stock market boom, Airbnb up, Lyft up. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to really decipher what's going on here. And if you believe everything's okay, stay at the party. If you don't believe everything's okay, you believe the music is going to stop, then you better be preparing for a day of reckoning. God bless.